This is the closest I'll come to speaking at an event at a Ganesh immersion, thanks to our MC. So this is my rock star moment. Thank you.
Sir, you are a rock star all your life, sir. We love you. Come on, give it up for him, man. Come on, superb achiever. Thank you. And love your orange shirt and my green jacket. What a combo.
That brings me to what brands are. Thanks to him saying I'm a rock star, the reality is your brand is not what you tell people it is. It's what people tell other people it is. Since morning, I met a few people who came up to me and said, so are you a blogger? I said, no. Or some of them asked, what's your blog? I said, I don't have one. And they gave me this funny look and said, maybe, someone told me the food at the JW Marriott is great. And then some of them looked at my doggy tag and read speaker. And they must be wondering, this BlogAdda calls non-bloggers and that sort of thing. So here I am. I'm going to give you ways in which bloggers can become more valuable to brands. But don't expect answers you can kind of act on as you walk out of this room. You probably will have a lot more questions and food for thought to chew on as you chew on the wonderful food outside. 1, think like a brand owner. Don't think like a blogger. Don't think like a tweep. Don't think like an Instagrammer. Think like a brand owner. Very few bloggers do that. Please start doing that. Something Prashant mentioned, it's a point I'm going to make as well. It's not about trending hashtags. It's not about virals. It's about the real impact the work you do delivers for a brand. Every time an event like this is trending on Twitter and the stream is saying, hey, we are #1, it scares me as a marketer, as an advisor to brands. Because it kind of says, maybe the only people who are actually seeing this stuff is people like us here. I mean, if 200 people are trending something nationally, when you have your prime minister doing a radio address to 900 million people and lots of things happening all over the world, it's scary. We kind of scratch each other's back and say, hey, trending, trending, trending. That's not the reality for brands, right? So that's something to think about. Know your domain. Whatever you do as a blogger, writing blogs, putting pictures up, and that sort of thing. But know your client's domain. You need to understand the brand. You need to understand the brand world. Some bloggers have moved from knowing their domain to knowing the client's domain. Go a step further. Know the consumer. Know the consumer's motivations, the consumer's triggers. We write sitting in our homes, our offices, with our iPhones. Kavita from Kurla is very different from Kavita from Kemp's Corner, is very different from Kavita from Kanpur, is very different from Kavita from Kapurthala. Twitter reaches all of them. Instagram reaches all of them. Do we really know which Kavita we are talking to? Do we recognize a brand has to be certain things and has to not be certain things? Or are we just putting it out there because our friends, colleagues, peers, awards this evening will celebrate us for putting out cool stuff? That's something to really think about. You must recognize 20 tweets does not build a brand. 5 Instagram posts does not build a brand. And I have seen media plans from very reputed, leading, well-awarded, well-celebrated digital and social media agencies that have a plan, and the last slide says at the end of these 3 weeks of social media campaign, the brand will be built on a slide. Oh, really now? Really, really, really. That's why it's taken brands which have been around for decades, decades to build themselves. And a brand like Maggie will not be made or broken on the back of what Twitter said or not. But if the brand comes out of where it is, it's because of the cachet that's been built. Something to think about. Real clout is spelt with a C, not a K. The real action of brands is the action that clout with a C triggers. The virtual action of a brand is the action that people here who have high K clouds trigger. Something to think about. Of course, you need folks with the K cloud, but if it doesn't impact the brand where the action of the brand happens, it's of no use. I've been asked by many clients, I need an ORM program. Three-letter acronym that doesn't need to be spelled out in this audience, right? And they say, can you influence, my reputation online? I said, you don't need to. The reputation of brands is not built online. It's built where the action of the brand takes place, which in many cases is offline. If you're Gillette and you have this new razor that they've launched with 5 blades and whatever, their reputation is not built if you have a trending hashtag, which I'm sure they do, because some social media agency is running a campaign. It's built at 7 a.m. in the bathroom of that guy who's shaving after paying 1,000 rupees for the new razor. I asked someone, how much does it cost? That's why I know. And the blade costs 499 rupees for those of you who want to just buy the blade later. The reputation is built at the 7 a.m. shape. It might go online, but it's not built online. It's very important to recognize the full brand surround. Like I said, the life of a brand very often happens offline. It doesn't happen online. And it's also very important to recognize the role we play as bloggers and the role we don't play. We're tempted when clients kind of give us an assignment saying, I'm being paid X, I can be paid 2X, if I kind of say it's all about what I will do for you on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Don't do that. Because if you want to build a valuable brand for yourselves, it's not built overnight. It's built by standing for something over a period of time. Otherwise, like I saw at some tweet chat one of the blogging sites did, bloggers were cribbing saying, we are paid 2,000 rupees for 200 tweets. That's because perhaps the brand that paid 10 rupees a tweet only saw the value of that blogger at 10 rupees a tweet in their overall marketing campaign. And they paid Ogilvy 4 crores to make a TV commercial because they believe that investment is better than this one. It's very important to earn your clients' respect by telling them where you get on and where you get off. Everything we do, writing, blogs, social media, conversations, is important. But You need to tell your client, you need to be doing 1, 2, 3, 4 things. Then I come in at step 5. Then I pull out. Then you need to do 6, 7. Then I come back at step 8. But we usually try to make clients believe what we do is everything they need to do. That's not true. Digital is a part of marketing, is a part of business strategy. Within digital, many channels, they play roles individually. So that's something to kind of think about. Don't try and present your story as the only story, even if your client doesn't know. You know. You know what it takes to do a trending hashtag. Prashant mentioned Colaveri D. I was part of a campaign that trended 2 or 3 times faster than Colaveri D, which was Sachin's Boost anthem, which Dhanush recorded because he was the Colaveri guy. In print, you have something called advertorial. In digital, we tread very dangerously, very, very dangerously. Sometimes we disclose, sometimes we are consumers, sometimes we say, but I use the phone, but I also do paid social for another phone manufacturer. We've got to be careful about this. It's better to disclose, it's better to say, look, I'm in this space commercially, so you can tune in. Consumers get influenced by paid advertising. There's no reason they won't get influenced by paid placements. We're trying to make it slip kind of under the bar. We're not doing anything for our own brands. We are not doing anything for the credibility of the brands we associate with. And over a period of time, both kind of get diluted. Something Prashant talked about briefly, and I'll talk about as well. Decide what you're good at and stay with it. I'm not talking platforms and that sort of thing. But don't, again, say, I do content, therefore pay me to post your content, pay me to amplify your content, etc., etc. Some people have lots of followers. They're digital billboards. 10, 20 years ago when I started out in advertising, Patel Bridge at Marine Drive used to cost 10 lakhs to, I'm looking at the clock, 3 minutes. They need paisa vasool, yaar, and they need food for thought. Okay, this is polite. Okay, so you pay 10 lakhs to get on Patel Bridge. Today you go to a digital billboard who puts up something and 10,000, 100,000 people look at it. If you're that digital billboard, you can be the Patel Bridge of digital billboards. Don't try to be the influencer. Be the digital billboard. If you do great content, say, here's the content. The TV ad production company hands over the commercial. The media agency amplifies it. Let the client find the amplifier. If you're a cow, be the best cow you can be and give the best quality milk. But if you start chewing on meat, you're going to get indigestion. You're not even going to be a good cow. You can never be a lion. And now that you have, stuff to chew on, food for thought, there's food for the stomach after another session. And I look forward to questions from you all later on, interactions. Thank you.
If a blogger writes for a brand, what are the risks of the content getting altered to suit the brand, because then money is involved? And before you answer, one update. The Gillette razor is $499 and 4 blades are $829 currently at Amazon.
So yes, if you are putting out communication from a brand, it's going to get skewed to the brand. It gets tricky where you pretend it is not brand and you try and slip it in organically. Consumers are on Twitter also to, consume advertising. Sorry, you had a link to that question? So be transparent. Don't tell a brand, I'll make it seem like non-brand stuff. Put it out as brand stuff. It's okay. I mean, people have writers, they make ad films for a living, they're people blog, they promote brands on a channel. They're people who painted your hoardings. They don't pretend that they don't earn money from painting brand hoardings. Why do you want to pretend that you don't earn money from painting brand hoardings digitally?